Love it. All right, let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. That's high class. Dear brothers, what's up, boys?
Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
We have a very fun episode today that is new in the world of Dear Brothers and myself. I am with my very good buddy, Chad Spivack, who I have had the distinct honor of being involved with over the course of the last 2 years to write his book, Now What? A novel that I'm going to let him explain to you guys. But we're going to talk about the book today, what's in it, who it's for. It's an awesome book. I have had the genuine pleasure of being able to read it while it's being completed. And it's awesome. And I'm not just saying that because I like him. I don't want him to put me in a pretzel and hurt me. But because it's awesome. So we have little E.H. Taylor. We've got our book. And now we're going to get into it.
Guess so.
It's pretty exciting.
Thanks for having me on the podcast, man.
I know, it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
We're filming a podcast in my godparents' home in southern Florida.
I do appreciate the denim casting couch.
Denim cast. Yeah, this is really.
I know.
This is high class.
The lighting is the best in this room, though. So I mean, we just gotta kind of.
It's gonna work. Yeah, it's not like a Chesterfield leather. Right. It doesn't smell. Doesn't smell like fresh mahogany and leather-bound books. I don't know if we're gonna make it through this.
Yeah, we may not. We'll do it.
But it's gonna be worth it.
We're gonna run it.
All right, here we go. So, now what? What is this about? Let's go.
So, really putting me on the spot here. So now what is really a culmination of I don't want to say my entire life, but it's a culmination of my previous career, my venture into my now career, the trials and tribulations of young men, the struggles that are a part of that, military transition. There's fatherhood. There's marriage. There's vice. There's struggles with identity. There's so many things that I wanted to cover, and I mean, I will say it's not like the longest book in the world. It's I think like 320 pages now that we're counting this out, and I definitely cover a lot of ground. And honestly, it was really cool how this idea came to me about 2 years ago. That Jackson, your great host here, encouraged me to start journaling every day. And I started journaling every day. I started putting my thoughts down. First thing in the morning, like first thing that comes to my mind. Just started writing, and then from that, I don't know. I honestly don't know where the idea came from, but then I just started. It turned into an outline. It turned into characters. It turned into events that were going to happen in this story. And then I remember, almost like 2 years to the day, that I sent you a picture of like, hey, this is a book outline. And then your response was, is that a book? Like, and I'm just like, yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to write it. So, I mean, like, I really don't want to give a lot away, but like I don't know. Well, I'm sure we'll get into it more during this conversation, but it was a really fun experience, and it's something that I hope inspires a lot of people that, young men, especially, military young men that are really struggling to find purpose in this world, especially like post Afghanistan and Iraq, that, you want to be a war fighter, you're patriotic, like, but if there's no war to fight, then what do you do? Like, and then, eventually you got to, like, your service comes to an end, and then you got to find something to do. You got to find some purpose. You got to find some, way to, find fulfillment in life. And, that, as we've seen statistically, it has been a problem.
So everyone's going to have to get some feeling here, because you've talked a lot about the military, but not your specific involvement in the military. So let's kind of start from the beginning, because this is a not military book, but it's about a guy in the military. So what is your, what did you do in the military? What did that look like? Because I will tell all of you Chad is the most gracious, humble guy in the world. He'll never tell you about all the cool stuff he's done. I still to this day am a little shocked by all the cool things that he's done. Way cooler than most people. And he's like, yeah, it's no big deal. So I won't let you get away with that because that's my job. So what did you do in the military?
So I was a Special Forces Green Beret medic, and I did that for, I think, 3 years. I was in for a total of 7.5 years. I was on a operational detachment for 3 years as a medic. We went to Northwest Africa. We did a little stint in Afghanistan as well, and that was like probably one of the more unique deployments that you're ever going to see to Afghanistan, because it was right at it was during the Trump-Biden election, and it was also during COVID. So I got to see just real time what, the decisions that were going on, like how that can impact people that were over in Afghanistan. Didn't see any combat. I'll come right out and say that. Like, I never saw it. So I'm not claiming to be a war hero by any means, but I got to serve with a ton of them. So I got to talk with them and learn with them and be eternally grateful for the sacrifices that those men that I served with, have made. But yeah, definitely didn't do that. But it was still a very interesting time and unique time to be over there. So what I got to see over there is, just like throughout my military service as a Green Beret, is that you really like get it. You get an understanding for what they're trying to do when they're training you. A line that was like given to us a lot throughout our pipeline was, or like our train up, which was, as a medic, it was, 3 years or so. And they said, there is no top of the mountain. There is no summit. And what the overall concept of that is that no matter what you achieve, you're not there. You haven't made it. You haven't done anything. There is always another summit that you can get to.
Right.
And when you think about it, I totally understand the concept of that from we need to create the most lethal warrior that we possibly can. We need you to constantly be striving to be more lethal, more capable, a better soldier, because that's what we need to, kill the enemy and destroy the enemy. But from a like a mental health standpoint, that can obviously lead to problems, because if you're never fulfilled, you can never experience accomplishment in anything that you've ever done. What happens when that mountain goes away? What happens when you're no longer able to climb mountains? When your entire purpose and identity has been to, finding that summit of Mount Everest, and now you can't climb mountains anymore. Like, what are you supposed to do? And I think that has plagued so many of my brothers and sisters, like as veterans, and as suicide is a really big problem, and it's something that we're going to touch on. But I think that's where it really lies, is that the military, like, it's really easy to find an identity and purpose there, because it's a great one. It's, you want to defend your country, patriotism, whatever you want to do or talk about. But eventually you have to stop serving. Like, you can't do it forever. You're clearly expendable, because we are expendable at the end of the day. What happens when it goes away?
So the way I look at that is the way that I look at most professions. The military, I think, adds an exponential component to it because of the identification with the military. But I talk about this in the injury world, which is injury world, fitness world, performance world, which is my world, is you identify with the thing. So in this case, it would be, I am a Green Beret versus I'm Chad, who happens to be a Green Beret. You kind of take yourself out of the equation and you identify with the position. And so inevitably, because of injury or lack of wars or whatever the thing is, that gets pulled away. And then the thing that your foundation is built on was just cracked.
Right.
Well, if I can't be a Green Beret, what can I be? What am I going to be? how can I go through the world without having to wake up and go through whatever the normal schedule is or be deployed, or like I don't have a meaning outside of being a Green Beret. Like I think of, remember Friday Night Lights when Boobie Miles gets hurt?
Yeah.
And he's like, all I know how to do is play football. He's like crying on his uncle.
Yeah.
That's like the best example to me of that situation where that's all you have is the thing. And I think this happens with businessmen. I think this happens with athletes where they only have that. And if that's pulled away from them, even when they're in it, they're like, this doesn't fulfill me the way that I thought it would. Now, to kind of transition there, is that what this book is kind of about? Is that this was who I was, now what? Like that's the title of your book, is Now What? So like what is the, like this book was written about now what, going from I'm in the military, no, I'm out of the military. Is this designed for the man who is like, now I'm out of the military. What do I do now? Who am I? Like what are readers going to see or get out of that?
It's a really good question. That was definitely the original goal, that when I undertook this journey to write this novel, like, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I've really like one of my biggest passions is trying to help soldiers, like, you know, transition out of the military, because like eventually you do have to get out. Like you can't do it forever. You really cannot. And it is so hard. You know, like some people will say like, oh no, you can get whatever job that you want. Like you can do all these things and like you can make a ton of money and you can, you know, go to this. You can do this defense contractor job. You can do this because you learned this skill or something like that. But I had like probably the smoothest transition that you could possibly have getting at it. I had a plan. I had a program that I did, you know, a transition into tech, and I was able to get a job exactly where I wanted to. Started making money in ways that I didn't think that it was possible, like in the military. But within 6 months of getting out, I was really struggling, like really like having like a difficult time dealing with. There was nothing that I was reaching out to. Like there wasn't the next school that I could get to. Right. There wasn't the next skill that I was training. It was well, you did really well this quarter, so we're going to give you a 5% pay raise. Congratulations, here's a cake. Right. And it's just like, well, I'm making money, and like you got me a promotion, but you find like people like me and the people in my profession, dude, it doesn't touch it. Like you don't need that. So I wound up, you know, finding we'll get to this, but like I wound up just taking up jiu-jitsu, and just a way to just like, all right, there's this next belt. There's, you know, I'm competing again. I'm talking to guys again, and you know, like you have that social aspect of it. But I think I got away from your original question. Is that what this book is about? And yes, like on the base of your question, yes, it is about transitioning out of the military and trying to find a purpose. But I think it could be applied more broadly, and without getting into exactly what happens in the book, I think that society as a whole has made it really hard for young men to find an identity. And that's what this book really turned into. It was originally when I started, so kind of a roundabout way to getting to the main message here, is that it started as all right, what do you do when you know, your whole identity has been in a Green Beret, and now you got to, you know, go work a desk job, you know, 9 to 5 kind of thing. Now what? You know, but as I wrote it and as I was getting through it and I reading books and about the, you know, the whole thing, it became like, oh, there's a societal problem here. Like to where like, yeah, young men are really in trouble. And that's what I wanted to get to towards the end of it.
Yeah, which I can, as someone who has read this and been a part of it, can attest to. This book is for young men who are looking for meaning. Because for the last however many long decade now, 20 years now, maybe more, you've just seen this slow decrease in men being taught that it's okay to be themselves. Like it's okay that you were like born a guy. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Like you can, it's good. The society needs you.
Right.
You only make up 80 or 90% of everything that you see. This house that we're sitting in, but the society, it's the Jordan Peterson message of like, we need strong men.
Right.
Right. And I think that this book talks about that in a way that is relatable for men. It was relatable to me, and I know that guys who are in the military will read this and be able to understand some of the lingo that you use, because obviously that's inbuilt. However, people that are not, it's no different than like I read Red Rising, or didn't you just finish Fourth Wing? Didn't your wife make you read Fourth Wing?
Yeah, she did. I mean, she made me read it, but then as I got into the series,
You got into
this
it.
is kind of fun.
However, you can pull philosophical ideas. You can pull belief in higher power. You can pull any idea out of a book. It doesn't have to be a book that you understand. I think last week I'd even made a video about men don't need to understand the problems of a brother to help that brother. Like, I don't have to know what it's like to have marital issues to be like, hey man, what can I do for you? Right? I don't think you have to know what it means to be in the military to get a substantial impact from the book, because it's going to talk to you about emotion, addiction, struggle, fear, hiding from fear, overcoming that, and redemption and grace. I think is at the end of this book, you can't help but feel that redemptive process. And Reed is our main protagonist.
Yes.
Correct? Is he built off of somebody, or is he kind of an amalgam of different peoples that you met across your time?
It's definitely like a collaboration of people. I've had, I think probably 7 people, read this book at this point, and everyone asks like, well, what character are you? And I say that I'm not any of the characters. Like, if you want to put my name to anything, I'm the narrator of it. I'm the one analyzing it from a high hover of, this is my analysis of things that have happened. While, there are probably pieces of me in every single character.
There's jujitsu in the book.
Like anyone who knows me and is going to read this can be like, oh yeah, I know that happened to you. I know that that this is actually a real story.
But it's not as if this is not a biography.
That is
in a lot of good ways.
Yeah, yeah.
When you've read the book, you'll understand.
You'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when my dad read it, he was a little alarmed. He was like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "No, don't worry. You're good. You're good. You have nothing to worry about."
This is not me.
Yeah. So it was a collection of experiences in my way of analyzing it, and just my hope that I could give advice to younger men, and just taking lessons that I have learned, or people around me have learned in the hard way, because I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot mentally. I've been through a lot. I've seen way too much suicide and way too much death in my life, and that is without seeing combat. I will say that, which is something that we like to throw to the tag like PTSD in the military on a lot of like the suicide problems, but I think it's a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like an excuse almost. Like, I don't want to discredit anybody that has PTSD, but the numbers don't say that that's the only reason that soldiers are killing themselves at the rate that they are.
No.
And especially when you look at I'm not a big stats guy, but because you can manipulate stats to really like fit any argument kind of thing. But like one that you can't really fake, or you can't fake, is that in the 12 months after separating from the military, the suicide numbers are 47% higher than normal veterans, and they're also 200% higher it's double, so it's 100% higher than just active duty.
The active duty soldiers.
So you can't, like, that is a real number.
And
it's 12 months, so that's a transitional period, and like that's a really big problem, and that should like set off alarm bells for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's not a PTSD thing, because we're not in Afghanistan anymore, we're not in Iraq anymore, but those numbers are still happening.
It's also a very man-specific problem. I mean, generally men kill themselves at a substantially higher rate than female. It is it is an epidemic of men.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the most part, and that's again this in the book as you get towards the middle and especially towards the middle, as it gets more hairy, you see that like mentally it's an option. You're like, I see. If you were to see the world through Reed's eyes, you'd go, why? Why would I even be here? What's the point?
Right.
What's the point? Is that, as you've read back through the book, and now that it's about to come out on Veterans Day, which is going to be tomorrow based on this coming out on Monday. So this will be available on Amazon, all of your normal places. Now What? A novel, Chad Spivack, Spivack. Trust me, I've misspelled that. I've known him a long time. Chad and I have a fantastic relationship. I still misspell his name all the time. It's okay. He knows that now. He won't get mad at me. Nonetheless, back to my point, I think that if you are someone who is dealing with, because I think that something that men don't like to do is admit that they have thoughts about anything. I think that it's no different than like every man has had some kind of base, immoral or scary thought, like killing themselves or harming someone, or you see the movies or TV shows where it's like something happens and they like beat the absolute crap out of somebody and they're like bloody and dead and they come back to reality and they're like, oh, I didn't actually do that. I think all of us have those thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
Right? It's so normal to have dark, if you will, thoughts. What we do with it and how we mitigate it, I think, is much more important. I think people that read this book will get that, where they see a guy in Reed who suffers with the thoughts and the actions and goes, how do I wrestle with this and how do I create a life in the midst of suffering? Really. Do you feel that way about this book? Is it kind of a example of what it means to suffer well and how to take that and turn it into meaning?
I think I feel you're probably referencing Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. I think that Man's Search for Meaning is he kind of gives you the definitions of like how you can find meaning in life, be it through a work or through a person. He talks about in the book a guy had come to him whose wife had died, and he was like, how would it be if the roles were reversed? He's like, she'd be devastated.
Sure.
He's like, so that's your burden to bear. That's your meaning in life. And so, yes, to a certain extent, but also just in the midst of difficulty, a lot of people don't know where to turn.
Okay, fair. Okay, yeah.
And so does this book, I know the answer to this, but...
You have the answers to the test already.
It's so fantastic. If only I had had that in grad school and undergrad. I looked at my, this is a tangent, but it's somewhat funny. So I looked at my diploma randomly when we were moving last. And I looked at where I ranked in the class. I think I was in the bottom 10 people out of like 700 something students in undergrad.
Where do you think you are now in that ranking?
Academically?
No, just in general.
Oh, I couldn't tell you in general. I couldn't tell you. There was plenty of people that didn't know how to cross the street, but they had, 160 IQs, so they were doing okay. But I chuckle at the fact that like I was just at the complete bottom of the barrel when it came to where I ranked in the class. Where the hell? What were we talking about?
You were talking about like finding meaning in suffering and like suffering well and
wherever that was going.
Yeah.
Does this? Oh, the answers to the test. That's what we were talking about. I wish I had answers to the test when I was, doing the absolute best I could in undergrad and still not getting close. Do you feel like this book gives people more than just you can do it on your own? Like this is, I think that that's something men do that I don't agree with, is that men think I can handle this all by myself. Does this book give them a different way of thinking about that?
Yes, that is a great point to bring up. And I have to answer this carefully because I want everyone to come to this realization on their own way, because I think it's more powerful. Like, like one of my favorite movies, Inception. Like, like the idea has to stick if it's like originally like implanted from the core, like foundation of the dream kind of thing. So I don't want to give any hints or anything like that, but I think you really nailed it, that men think we can, like, or maybe society thinks that we can do it, like makes us think that we have to do it all on our own, because that's the manly thing to do. And like, if I can't do it on my own, like, then I'm not a man.
I'm worthless.
I'm worthless. Like, why am I struggling so much? Like, I should be tougher than this. What is wrong with me? Why can't I handle this? Why is this affecting me emotionally so much when as a man, I'm not supposed to have these kind of emotions? Why am I crying my eyes out right now because of something that happened to me that is just overwhelming me? I'm not supposed to be overwhelmed. I'm a man.
Or why am I overwhelmed? Yeah.
And this book, I'm hoping paints it in a different light, because I went through what also, without giving out too many details, I went through something very, very difficult when it came to starting a family. And there was a point where I had no idea what to do. I had nowhere to turn. Like, yeah, sure, I have very good friends, I have a very good family, thank God for that. But like, at a certain point, your friends and family, they can't do anything, and I can't do anything. So it's like, well, where do you go? Where do you turn? And that's
This book, I think
read the book.
This book answers this book, it provides a game plan or a way to look at it that I think people wrestle with. It's interesting that you were just talking about, like, we expect men to be tough, hardened, to a certain degree apathetic, like just non-emotional, like just handle everything, what have you. I think that society has become one of two options. You are either that version, where you are like this emotionless, hardened man, or you are soft as puppy shit, because you've been told you don't need to be masculine in any capacity.
Right.
I think we've lost the middle ground of somebody like, I do like the example of like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. Like, he is in tune emotionally to everything, but he's a leader, takes care of the people around him, loves his woman, like, he cares for those around him. He's loyal to a fault, but still has the ability to control his emotion, to be in tune with it, but not to the detriment of who he is as a man person.
Right.
I think that we, in society today, you basically see men who have relinquished that and want no part of it. And you see men who, maybe what this book reflects more is those who are just hardened. Their outer shell is just steel, but inside they are broken. There's no structure. There's no purpose. There's no meaning. There's a lot of questions. And there's a lot of self-loathing, where it's, I feel this and I shouldn't. I hate myself. I don't like myself. I don't want to be a part of myself. And we've been talking, the suicide question is such a problem for men. But I think one of the interesting things about that when it comes to the military, and I only know this from other people, is that there's other considerations that men make when they go, my family's better off with the life insurance money than if I'm around.
Right. Yeah.
My family is better off in this case than if I'm around, versus just them, which you and I feel this way, obviously, but that is just the enemy whispering terrible nothings into your ear. And I think that this book explores that. I think it gives men who may have experienced that, even men who are not in the military, it gives them an inkling of that little demon that sits on their shoulder that whispers to them that they're not good enough, that they'll never be good enough, that they're jerks, that they're horrible, that they should just end it now, or that they should continue in their foul ways because who cares? Life doesn't mean anything. seek pleasure, seek this. Oh, but by the way, you're still a jerk. You're not worthwhile. You're not worthy. You're not good enough. This book hits that. Do you feel that? I mean, obviously you wrote the book, but I feel that way as someone who has seen it progress from beginning to end. And I think any man, literally, now that I'm thinking, any man, all men, now I will give this caveat. This is a mature book. This book is not written for children.
Nope, sure not.
It is not designed, you should not read this. But it is true. It is raw. This is the reality of what actually happens. Specifically verbally. Obviously, things are changed in the book for various reasons, just for anonymity or whatever. But the language, the conversation, the thoughts are real. And I think that you did a brilliant job bringing that to life. Because I think that we also sugarcoat things too much.
Right.
There's no sugarcoating in this book. It's raw, it's real, it is harsh in a way that people go, oh yeah, I've thought that before. I've felt that before. And I think that it's a fabulous aspect of the book is that it's not fake. I didn't read this and go, this is like hocus pocus. And I think that too many men's books are that way. Or they're like, you're a piece of shit. Get your life together.
Right.
Get in the gym at 4 a.m. You dirt bag. And you're like, neither of these is helping anybody. There has to be a middle ground. I think this book finds that with some good comedic relief. There's some funny characters. All of you are going to hate Stan. I hate Stan. I would like to meet Stan because I beat the shit out of him. You guys will figure that out later on.
Stan's a good character.
Stan is not a good character.
No, I'm just saying he's for the overall storytelling, he's a good character.
Yes, he's a fantastic character. Anyways, I won't release any more information. But Stan deserves.
There's a lot of fun characters in it. And it's fun, that I'm not an author, and even in
false. He is an author.
Well, I guess officially.
Matter of fact, the book is right here. I'll take none of this slander against my homie.
Officially, I am an author because as of Tuesday, I will have published a book.
Thank you.
But it is fun, because in college and high school, I was always probably a B+ A- author or writer, in all my writing classes kind of thing. And I think it's because I write how I talk.
In AP English?
I was in AP English, yeah, but I was still a A-, B+, so not a the top of the class or anything like that, but not bad, bad.
Bougie,
yeah,
bougie Denver, bougie Denver life, man.
But so I think you'll probably see during in the dialogue that I write how I talk, and because I'm very auditory in how I understand things. So there's my wife is
few less F-bombs.
Few less F-bombs. Yeah, I, through the editing process, I've definitely toned down the language quite a bit. My wife actually went through it, who's a much better writer than I am, and she was like, "Do you really need to throw that in there?" And you're like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I can cut that one out."
I mean, I just opened up a random page, and the first word I see right there, baby. Yeah, so it's there's a lot of language in it, but I think that's how guys talk to each other. And it's not how I think how guys talk to each other. It is how we talk to each other. And we don't need to pretend like it's not. Yeah. So especially in the military, I know that's how we talk to each other, and it's it's real.
It's real. It's real, and that's what I tried to do. And I'm not trying to pretend to be anything that I'm not. No. With writing this, I tried to keep it as authentic as possible because the main goal is to be an advocate for people that are struggling. And I don't want to preach. I don't want to say, you need to do this, you need to do that. I want people to understand after reading this or while reading it that what you're going through is not unique. The struggles that you're going through, a lot of people have gone through it too. Oh. And too many people have succumbed to the demons and killed themselves because of it.
Or ruin their lives, just generally.
Or ruin their lives. They've gone to jail. They've become addicted to drugs. They've cheated on their wives. They've, any number of different things. There's so many things that you can ruin your lives and the people that have the lives around you with. Sorry, I'm getting broken up a little bit. There's a way out. There's a way. People love you. You can find a way out. And when the answer becomes clear to you, it opens up a whole new world, and life becomes so much more clear. And that's what I hope you get out of this. So please read it.
Yep. It's a great book, written by a great guy. And I think a lot of men are going to have some changed lives because of this. Changed my life. I was honored to be involved in the editing process. And although terrible part about being involved in helping someone, and by helping someone, let me rephrase that, reading someone else's excellence, is that you get to see all the stuff that happens that makes you mad without having the next chapter written yet.
By the way, this was a 2-year process, and I was sending him a chapter at a time.
That was terrible.
So, yeah.
I hated it. I'm getting a chapter, something happens, and I'm like, you're joking, right? Did you really do that? I won't give away any details. Made it difficult though. But when you see it all in completion, it is a work of. The best part about this, there's a lot of authors today that have other people write their books, or AI is writing their books, and you can feel it. This is not that way. This book was written, you feel the internal emotions, you feel the experiences of Chad, you feel the struggles, maybe not his own, but just you feel real human emotion and real human difficulty. And it's expressed in a way that guys who feel disenfranchised, less than themselves, they don't feel manly enough, they feel like they're too apathetic. It hits every man in a way. It's the same way that I actually think about reading a lot of things. Like when you read the Bible, you could read the same verse 15 times, and every time you get something new out of it. Mm-hmm. I think books like this, similar to books like The Discourses by Epictetus, or Man's Search for Meaning, or
Screw Tape Letters.
The Screw Tape Letters, or pick one of those books. Mm-hmm. Every time you read it, something new presents itself. Mm-hmm. And you can read it over. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Read it over and over and over, and you get something new. And I think every man, because of that, will be able to read this book, take something from it, and go, you know what? I can do better. I will be better. And the reason for that is because the world needs me. They need my gifts. They need the unique things that I've been God-given. And by the time you're done with this book, you'll have some tears, a lot of laughs, probably a few cuss words because you're upset about something. Happened to me. Very upset. I still hold him accountable for those days. But it will bless you in a lot of ways. So Tuesday coming out on Amazon. We have ebook and paperback. Paperback's right here. It's electric. The picture of him on the back doesn't even look like you.
I know. That was a couple years ago.
Very handsome, but...
Are you saying I'm not handsome now?
I don't see you in a suit very often.
Yeah. Well, I work remote, so yeah, no reason to wear a suit most of the time.
It's like one of those guys that's got like the polo on and then just his boxers. That's so fantastic. There was a guy the other day, I don't know who sent this to me. He was a cop at home, and he had to do like a zoom in to a court, and he has his uniform on, and the camera is like right here, and he's just wearing boxers. Mm-hmm. And the judge is like, "Do you not have pants on?"
Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. Look that up. It's great stuff.
That's a good one.
Fellas, hopefully you guys appreciated that. Chad and I didn't ramble too long. I still have some E.H. Taylor that we're going to finish.
We will drink that.
Now what? Tuesday, Veterans Day. Go buy it. Link will be in the bio. I'll have 100,000 links going out to all of you. Be sure to follow Chad where?
Follow me on X at Chad I guess, _Spivack, and then Instagram Barbadude, which you'll see my previous adventures of trying to be creative prior to writing a book. So maybe you'll see some videos of me trying to cook and be a funny influencer. So.
Prior to you having a son.
Well,
Sort of.
I do have a son.
Stud.
I do have a son.
Stud. Yeah, everyone's a father now.
Yeah,
It's
which
great.
is really fun. Like we have our kids in the other room actually, which I think they're being supervised, but I don't know.
I don't know. We just put them in like a locked cage.
But I think the last thing that I want to say before we sign off here is that I touched on the line that there is no top of the mountain, and I disagree with it. There is a top of the mountain. You can train and reach the summit of Mount Everest, get to the top, celebrate it, cheer yourself on for getting there. Get down to the bottom of the mountain and then just kind of chill for a little bit and like relish in your accomplishment, and then start training again. Get to the next summit. Get to Mount Everest, the summit of Mount Everest, faster. But the whole there is no summit thing, I think, is wrong. I think it's just, okay, you reach the summit, now get to it faster. I think that's a better way to look at it.
Now what?
Now what?
Let's do it again.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there is no perfection. There's the relentless pursuit of perfection. But that doesn't mean that achieving something isn't worthwhile. Mm-hmm. You know, you should always, big Mike Vrabel guy, go Pats. I do love his approach to never let someone take the joy out of winning. Mm-hmm. Like to accomplish something you should be proud of. That doesn't mean that you should hang your laurels on it. That doesn't mean that you should stop. But you should still appreciate it. And point well made. That's it, everybody.
That's it.
Tuesday, Veterans Day. Now what? Coming out. Buy it. Enjoy it. Write reviews for it. It's awesome. We're going to drink some bourbon now. We'll see y'all.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, brothers.